Well, let's do this. Let's jump over to the hypocrisy, because I really want to highlight this, and we're going to call out a high-profile activist. I hate calling out people specifically.
Yeah, I agree.
But what we're dealing with right now, let me just tell you, a man in Austin wielding a rifle walks up to a car, gets shot and killed. Some witnesses said he pointed it at the vehicle. After the guy the driver shoots the guy with the gun. Someone else, one of these, I guess, rioters at this point, started shooting the dude's vehicle. He fled. The cops arrested these two guys. This man, Garrett, who had the rifle, died. So again, we have a photo of him holding the gun, and witnesses said he pointed at the vehicle and then got shot.
So just a little context too. I saw a couple different eyewitness videos of this. Now they were marching straight. They were kind of all spread out. I'm talking about the protesters, and this car was just driving down the street. It kind of like reached where the crowd was and honked a few times.
It like bumped a barrier.
Kind of like, no, there was no barrier.
No barrier?
Mm-mm. It honked a couple times, like, get out of the way. And you can see all of them were like, finally, we can like take like our anger at someone. They all turned and just converged on the car. And anyone within like a 30-foot radius turned and like came to the car. So like imagine, what that would feel like if you're in that car.
Surrounded by people, they're all yelling.
And you look out the window and what do you see? Someone brandishing an AK-47. It is an AK. That's what it was. So I'm just giving a little context to what happened before, the actual incident.
Then bang, 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 bang.
5 shots.
5 shots, followed by 3 shots. Mm-hmm. According to law enforcement, those 3 shots was someone from the protest shooting at the car. This guy, Garrett, died. A GoFundMe was launched. The GoFundMe has raised over, let me see if I can pull it up, $107,824, and they disabled it. I was wondering why GoFundMe allowed this and not a bunch of other GoFundMes that get deleted or taken down.
Good question.
If this guy really did point that rifle, and he may have, we have video of him actually having his hand on the grip. If he succeeded in causing harm or threatening someone's life, this would have been taken down in 2 seconds. Only because his life was taken, I suppose, they're allowing it. But what do you think the left is referring to him as? A martyr.
Of course.
A martyr of the cause. You know why? Because the far left recognizes their right to the Second Amendment, their right to walk around with loaded guns, but not yours. Because when it comes to the couple in St. Louis, Kim Gardner seeks to stop Missouri Attorney General from meddling in McCloskey gun case. That's right.
That's rich when they were meddling with the evidence themselves.
Right.
Now, we did a full subject on this. You can check our past videos, and we did a full segment and rundown on that, so you can check that out.
So basically, the context. When Patricia McCloskey, she had a handgun, it was inoperable because the firing pin and spring were reversed. They claimed that was intentional because they were using it as a prop in a courtroom. They, apparently, when it was delivered to the crime lab, they disassembled it. It was inoperable. So they disassembled it and reassembled it and then said it was readily available, capable of lethal force. Now, the left has argued, because I've talked to some leftists about this. They said the crime lab was just trying to see if the weapon could work. They weren't tampering with evidence. And I think that is a total cop-out.
Absolutely.
They're saying,
definitely.
No, the McCloskeys flipped the pin after the fact to make it seem like it. And I'm like, that's conjecture. You got no proof that happened.
Correct.
All we know is the weapon they received was inoperable.
And it was changed from when it entered evidence to now.
Right.
That's tampering.
That is tampering with evidence, period.
I mean, their attorney said so, but the media's not saying it. There's been no charges or anything.
Oh, the media. Okay.
Right. Of
sure.
Course. Well, so here's the bigger picture, man. Here's the big picture. How is it that if you are a regular person on your property and a mob of people enter your private property and you legally say, get off my property, you're a villain. You're a villain. And how is it if you're this guy in Austin with an AK and you walk up to someone's car, they say, you're a martyr? I'm now going to show you some Facebook posts from someone I normally don't like to highlight, but it needs to be done because this guy's got millions of followers. And as much as many people really, really hate him, especially progressives, they really don't like him.
Yeah.
He's one of the most prominent and well-known Black Lives Matter activists. All right, where's this awful image? Shaun King. Ugh. Here's what Shaun King said. That's Garrett Foster. He was an unarmed, nonviolent demonstrator last night in Austin, Texas. Well, I got to stop right there. I'm sorry. I got to stop right there. Let me just play a game with y'all. Let me play a game of showing you a photograph of Garrett Foster holding his AK.
Oh, okay.
With his hand.
This is the video where he's actually approaching the vehicle. You can see it right here. He's clearly, he's
holding the grip.
He's got the grip, and like the look in his eye is like, I'm coming at this person.
It's aimed,
as far as I'm seeing right now.
It's aimed down. You can see the stock up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking forward.
He's armed.
He's armed.
That's all that matters.
He's armed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why?
There's a video. No, not only is he armed, there's a video of him talking about how he is proudly walking around exercising his 2A rights.
Yep.
And talking about what the gun is. It's like,
and how
he was proudly talking about being armed.
And he basically says those who oppose us won't do anything about it.
That's true. He does
say
that.
And then he goes up to this car. Look, what are they doing on his car? What are they doing to this guy's car? Why are they surrounding it? Wearing masks?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They really just, everyone in that circle around the car turned and just approached the vehicle.
Right. To clarify the masks thing, I get it. We're all supposed to be wearing masks because of COVID. The point is, the driver doesn't know. It doesn't matter. A bunch of masked individuals running and yelling up to the car, do with a rifle, armed. What did Shaun King say? Unarmed, non-violent demonstrator in Austin, and was shot and killed protesting for Black Lives Matter with his fiancée, Whitney. A man tried to run protesters over with a car.
Wasn't even moving.
Then fired 8 shots at them. Not even true in the slightest.
Oh my gosh, it keeps
killing Garrett.
Worse and worse.
Yep. Who was pushing Whitney in a wheelchair. I'm sorry. Is he pushing somebody in a wheelchair in that picture?
Both hands on the gun.
Maybe that's not really a gun. Maybe he's just lifting the wheelchair up like this.
No, and I saw the video. The car clearly comes to a stop, then honks, and then they all mob his car.
You want to drive? You want to hit the nail on the head with a hammer right now?
Go ahead.
Let's drive it home. Here's the final portion of Shaun King's post.
Right.
We're working hard in all 50 states and need your help. Volunteer and donate now at grassrootslaw.org. Okay.
Yep, monetizing emotions. That's all I'm seeing right now.
Yep,
monetizing emotions.
He is posting fake news. And you know what? That's what he does.
He probably makes, look at this. 128,000 likes.
51,000 shares.
51,000 shares.
Oh, man.
People get emotional. They get emotionally triggered when they see that.
Didn't he falsely accuse a cop of sexual assault?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, can you pull it? Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I'm curious.
There was like a big thing where he published this big fake news. I believe we'll get the source on it. But let me. What do you think Mr. King had to say about the McCloskeys? Certainly, he would argue they're martyrs as well for this.
I'm sure.
For this cause, innocent, dwellers of their own homes, holding rifles. The same. Sure, certainly they were. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Wait, what? What's that?
Here's what he says. This St. Louis, and the armed people you see here are Mark and Patricia McCloskey, attorneys who did this when protesters walked past their house on their way to protest the mayor. Protesters weren't even there for them. Not a single person threatened them. They pulled out an AR-15 assault rifle and a pistol and began aiming it at men, women, and children.
Oh, my goodness.
It violates Missouri Criminal Code 571-03014, which says citizens are not allowed to exhibit any weapon capable of lethal use in an angry or threatening manner. Now, this one only got 15,000 shares, 22,000 likes. But the point is, when it comes to their side, they're the heroes. When it comes to anyone else, they're the villains.
I think it's a story.
It's a story?
They treat it like a story.
Oh, did you find the source about?
Well, I'm seeing here that Shaun King used to work for The Intercept, which makes me kind of sad.
Yep.
And I'm seeing that he's being slammed for pushing a woman's now discredited accusation. She accused Daniel Hubbard of assault, and he was wrong. It says Shaun King was being slammed for pushing a woman's now discredited claim that a trooper assaulted her. This is from, I want to say, 2018. Yeah, so he's...
So there you go.
Yeah, so he's just lying.
He's
about
just
everything all the
another
time.
storytelling media personality. That's all they are. All these storytellers.
Yeah.
You know, we got to come up with a name. Not grifter, because that can be applied to anyone. But there's got to be a name for reporters. You know, these personalities that report news that is
fake.
That's fake. It's like John Oliver. I used to think he was funny. I used to think it was so funny. I laughed a lot, and I kind of thought I would get got some of my news from him. Turns out he's making jokes on the fake media. You know, so like if you
he's adding to it.
You're absolutely right. He adds to it. But if you think the fake media is the real media, then he is funny.
It's so John Oliver he's a sophist.
Okay.
It's like basically he takes a couple things to guarantee his argument is correct.
Good point.
So I'll give you an example of how, you can criticize me for not being good at what I do, for sure, if you think I'm bad. I did a segment about a former Democrat who was charged with voter fraud. Okay. In that segment, as soon as I wrapped up the news on Democrat voter fraud, I highlighted a story about a Republican who was also charged with voter fraud to make sure I'm not trying to make it seem like only Democrats do this. A Republican was charged as well.
Okay.
However, the stories were very, very different. The Democrat was actually ballot stuffing. The Republican voted in with like a bad address.
Okay.
So, but I did look up voter fraud, and I made sure I was like, I saw the story about the Democrat. I'm like, I'm not just going to do the Democrat. I got to make sure. Let's do some search. And sure enough, we could go Republican as well. Mm-hmm. I highlighted them both. I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to be like, am I getting this right? I don't always get it right. Sometimes I miss things.
Okay.
But often I trace the source of the stories to figure out what's really going on. I can show you right here with this story, with this man, Garrett. The double standard is obvious. They're lying to you. The media is lying to you. The activists are lying to you. This guy, Shaun, look at man. I mean, come on. Unarmed, nonviolent, please donate. And here's the photo of the guy with the gun.
Yep.
It's mind-blowing. And 51,000 shares later, I tell you, too many people on the left get their news from memes.
I wonder how much money he made from that one post. That one fake lie that he posted.
This is
profitable.
This is where we're at. 2 people arrested after gunshots ring out near Portland protest site. They found, look at this. These are the Molotov and the mason jars.
Yep.
This is the loaded magazines. I don't know what the red paint is supposed to be. I don't know if somebody knows what that's for. Is it like a commie thing? I have no idea.
I mean, probably like, make them think they're cooler, like some sort of blood. A lot of people were complaining about like, well, how was it wet? Well, it was in a bag with Molotov cocktails. It was like a paint thinner.
What was wet?
You could see that the paint is still wet, and they
Really?
were like we were trying to talk about
That's
it.
right.
But it's like if you think about it, a Molotov cocktail. I don't know what they were using as the flammable liquid that was in there, but most alcoholic things will thin paint, so it makes sense.
I mean, I
that it was
imagine
a
they would
little
just get
wet.
gas.
Yeah,
That's what they do. They go to gas stations, and then they
makes sense.
And so here you have the current state of things. Yet Nadler is going to say the rioting in Portland's a myth.
That's crazy. That someone in Congress is he a congressman? What was
Yeah, Congress.
Yeah, that doesn't
Brooklyn.
matter. Anyone of that standpoint in the government thinks that it's a lie, boldly saying it with a smirk on his face, and then waddle away and get in a car. The guy's like, "Oh man, we're gonna get in trouble for you saying that. Get in the car, old man." That's what it felt like. You see,
And you
how
know
he
what,
was
man?
just like,
This is
get
why
in the car. Get in the car. Stop talking.
If you guys aren't familiar with Flecka's talks, Fleccas, Flecka's, he does a great job because
he's
he's very
good.
polite to everybody. I love watching his videos. He'll walk up to like some regular. He'll wear like what is like these highlighter vests or whatever. What are they called? Reflective vest. There you go. He'll walk up to people and he has like an oatmeal spoon.
Yeah.
With like a phone attached to it.
I love it.
And he just very calmly he did this one segment that it was fantastic. It was called "Trump is not that bad," and he walked up to people and he goes, "Do you think Trump is bad?" And they're like, "Yeah, but he's not that bad, right?" And then most people are like, "Yeah, I guess he's not that bad." Like, that's it.
That's all the segment was.
But
That's funny.
But it's true. It's like you look how the media frames everything Trump does. It's like there was MSNBC had a woman on who claimed that Trump was talking about exterminating Latinos.
What?
Yeah, I kid you not. And it's like any person whose like brain is on is going, what?
Yeah.
No way that happened, dude. No way. I hear stories about Democrats all the time, and I go, no way. Like there was that viral tweet from AOC where she was claiming, people were claiming she tweeted, we should keep our businesses shut down longer. When I heard that, I said, no way, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way. And it's like some things, and that was a clever one because it almost sounds plausible.
I know, yeah.
but
I saw that tweet. I still see it floating around. People tag me on it all the time. Like,
Not
is this real?
She says a lot of crazy things though, and that's
I can't confirm it.
We got
so
it. We
it's
got
not
it.
real
We
as far
have
as
to.
I'm concerned.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify. And we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.